It's midnight and you're tuning in to Nightline with me, Liana Hassanel. The top stories. PM reiterates urban renewal initiative to uplift Malaysian lives. And security of trading systems not compromised, assures Bursa. Good morning. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on Friday emphasised the national unity remains the cornerstone of Malaysia's resilience, particularly in the face of mounting global and domestic challenges. He underscored the strength drawn from the nation's rich diversity, urging the people to recognise that unity, not division, is the driving force behind Malaysia's progress and stability.
Bahawa ada harus kekuatan baru dalam melatih anak-anak kita, talent baru, kecekapan baru, kepintaran baru dalam kejuruteraan, dalam AI, artificial intelligence. Tapi ini bicarakan Datuk Presiden China telan kita, BAP ini hantu. Tak selesai. Saya tidak mengatakan kita tidak boleh bicara, boleh. Tapi lihatlah kepada masa depan kita. Pandanglah kepentingan anak-anak kita.
Anwar said this in a speech at the state-level Madani Aidilfitri celebrations held in Ipoh, Perak on Friday evening. The Tambun Member of Parliament also reflected on Malaysia's path to independence, acknowledging that the early years of nation building were met with scepticism. Despite those early doubts, he noted Malaysia has since risen in dignity and stature, establishing itself as a strong and respected nation. Earlier, the Prime Minister criticised certain quarters who continue to spread false accusations that the government's plan to redevelop ageing housing areas in Kuala Lumpur is driven by malicious intent. Anwar emphasised that the initiative is generally aimed at enhancing living standards. He urged an immediate end to the fear-mongering that falsely paints the initiative as a Chinese-driven agenda to displace Malays from the capital. Speaking at an event in Kuala Lumpur on Friday, Anwar once again drew attention to the difficult living conditions faced by residents in the capital, many of whom are confined to cramped flats over 40 years old, typically with just one bedroom and a single bathroom. These communities are also burdened by issues such as overcrowding, lack of comfort, and various social problems, including drug abuse. In response, the government is pushing to revitalise these ageing, dilapidated and unsightly buildings through the proposed Urban Renewal Bill, aimed at providing safer, more livable housing for the people.
Sebab itu kita kena pindah untuk menjamin mereka ini mendapat rumah baru di tempat yang sama atau lebih kurang kawasan yang sekitar dengan minimal 3 kamar, 3 bilik. Minimal 2 bilik air tandas. Apa dia masalahnya?
Anwar said allegations portraying the initiative as an attempt to seize Malay-owned land are entirely baseless.
Tanah reserve ni kekal. Apakah tanah itu reserve emas Malaysia, Malay Agriculture Settlement? Kekal. Strata kekal. Tetapi kalaulah flat Sri Perlis yang pada saya paling melemaskanlah, saya tidak bangga sebagai seorang Perdana Menteri kalau tidak dapat melakukan apa-apa untuk bangun semula.
The Prime Minister made an assurance that Kuala Lumpur City Hall, DBKL, will prioritise residents' comfort and ensure access to essential amenities in the temporary housing provided during the urban renewal process. Earlier, Anwar launched the Warisan Kuala Lumpur initiative, aimed at revitalising the heart of the capital city through heritage-driven urban renewal. He stressed that every development, including this heritage project, must deliver tangible benefits to the people, particularly in improving their quality of life.
Saya tidak akan boleh terima projek nak hebat megah dengan gedung-gedung besar dan perkasa. Itu pandangan orang lain. Saya mahu gedung-gedung kecil termasuk gerai-gerai dan warung-warung yang bersih tetapi mematuhi syarat-syarat yang ketat, indah dan memuliakan rakyat yang 75-80% gunakan.
The Warisan KL initiative aims to transform historic areas in the capital into vibrant cultural and creative zones. It is guided by the 2040 Kuala Lumpur City Plan and promotes a culturally anchored approach to urban development. Through 10 flagship pilot projects, the initiative aspires to position Kuala Lumpur as a globally recognized creative city, which is inclusive, connected, and proudly reflective of Malaysia's identity. At a separate event in Ipoh, Perak, the Prime Minister reiterated Malaysia's strategic approach to navigating global uncertainties, including the issue of Washington's reciprocal tariffs. Anwar expressed confidence that ASEAN unity, along with efforts to tap into new trade markets, will help cushion the impact of such measures.
Membina keyakinan rakyat bahawa kita mampu berdikari, mampu membangun dengan kekuatan kita dan jaringan yang bertambah di ASEAN, di rantau Asia, dengan China, dengan India, dengan Australia, Jepun, Korea, dan membuka pasaran-pasaran baru, Eropah. Dan sekarang kita kian rapat dengan Brazil.
The Prime Minister also revealed that several foreign leaders, including those from India, Pakistan, Kosovo, and the Maldives, are scheduled to make official visits to Malaysia soon. He said the visits are seen as important steps towards broadening both economic and diplomatic cooperation. He was speaking after launching the upgraded Sultan Azlan Shah Airport in Ipoh, which now has the capacity to handle 700,000 passengers annually, up from 500,000 previously. Bursa Malaysia has reassured investors that its trading systems remain secure and have not been compromised. It reported that the recent incident involving unauthorized access to online trading accounts was not widespread and only affected a limited number of brokers and accounts. In a statement, the stock exchange operator also confirmed that no related complaints were received during Friday's trading session. The exchange also said it remains committed to safeguarding investor protection and upholding market integrity. Earlier, Bursa Malaysia and the Securities Commission announced that investigations were underway following reports of login issues and instances of unauthorized trading activities from several brokers. Media Prima Berhad has extended a contribution to the family of the late Ismailudin Muhammad Yusof, a former auxiliary police officer with TV3, during a ceremony held at Balai Berita in Bangsar on Friday. Ismailudin passed away in January this year after a heart attack. The contribution was presented by Media Prima Berhad Group Chairman Datuk Sri Dr. Syed Hussein Al-Junaid to the wife of the late Ismailudin, 47-year-old Rahyu Melati Abdul Rahman. He also took time to personally engage with the late officer's wife and daughters, spending nearly an hour with the family to offer support and appreciation for Ismailudin's 12 years of service with the company. Also present were Media Prima Group Chief Financial Officer Rosli Sabarudin, Group Human Resources General Manager Nor Azlin Redzwan, and Media Prima Berhad Television Network's Group Editor of News and Current Affairs Azhari Muhyiddin.
Arwah ni dia sebenarnya sangat sayang kepada TV3, Datuk Syed especially, dan semua staf, dan memang dia seorang yang bertanggungjawab, bukan saja dekat tempat kerja, dekat rumah pun sama, seorang yang sangat bertanggungjawab. Kehilangan dia memang sangat dirasai lah untuk kami sebenarnya.
Amat-amat terasa kehilangan beliau kerana setiap hari bila kita datang kerja, beliau adalah orang yang pertama yang kami akan jumpa. Okey, dan apabila kita habis tugas, beliau akan pastikan yang semua orang telah balik, baru beliau akan balik. Jadi Allahyarham ni very committed, dia sangat amanah dan dia peramah. Dan setiap tetamu yang datang di level ini, beliau akan layan mereka.
The family also received compensation under the company's insurance protection scheme. The late Ismailudin is survived by his wife and two daughters, 18-year-old Orchid Nur Aliyah and 15-year-old Jasmine Nur Arisha. Malaysia has surpassed its national agro-commodity policy target, with 170 out of 446 palm oil mills nationwide having installed biogas facilities as of last year. Plantation and Commodities Minister Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani said the milestone has helped reduce greenhouse gas emissions by up to 4.9 million tonnes of carbon dioxide. Speaking during a site visit to the Synergy biogas plant in Suabutong, the minister highlighted the growing importance and added value of the biogas industry, especially in turning palm oil waste into a source of income and economic growth. He also stressed that biogas development promotes local employment and supports better palm waste management practices.
Kita akan beritahu kepada negara-negara yang mengimport palm oil kita ini bahawa every piece of the waste yang kita created, kita reprocess and create another industry yang boleh dipakai. Ya, so I think that is where saya nak tekankan bahawa betapa pentingnya kita menjaga alam sekitar.
Biomethane derived from palm oil mill effluent is also being used as a renewable energy source to generate electricity by fully leveraging on local expertise and innovation. In encouraging wider adoption of biogas practices, Johari urged mill operators unfamiliar with the concept to engage with Synergy C. Berhad for biogas plant management support.
They have the entire ecosystem. You know, a plant that run with 1.2 megawatt punya biogas plant run by 7 orang saja. Dan 7 orang ni tak ada satu pun foreign workers. These are all local people, good background engineer, and then dia ambil pekerja dalam kawasan ini. Jadi ini adalah satu example yang macam mana sebuah gas power plant yang di biogas yang boleh run begitu efisien.
Synergy, a key player in Malaysia's sustainable energy landscape, has developed 20 biogas plants across the country with a combined capacity of 52.8 megawatts. Malaysia has begun talks with representatives from the White House in Washington as part of broader diplomatic efforts to resolve trade concerns raised by the Trump administration. In the meeting on April 24th, Putrajaya outlined 4 key areas for negotiation, focusing on reducing the trade deficit, tackling non-tariff barriers, enhancing technological safeguards, and exploring a potential bilateral trade agreement. The Malaysian delegation is led by Investment, Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Sri Tengku Zafrul Abdul Aziz, who met with officials from the Office of the United States Trade Representative USTR. Malaysia stressed during the talks that all communication lines remain open and that it will continue to work towards an amicable solution to the matter. Discussions also touched on how the US could strengthen cooperation with ASEAN, especially in light of Malaysia's chairmanship this year, a timely opportunity to advance shared goals and regional stability.
Kita minta dalam perjanjian itu mestilah ada kata persetujuan bersama.
Isu kampung Sungai Baru, yang mana fakta, yang mana auta.
Kami tidak menolak pembangunan. Pembangunan itu biarlah buah pembangunan yang lestari.
Apakah penyelesaiannya? Saksikan secara eksklusif dalam podcast utama Buletin TV3 bersama Ahli Parlimen Titiwangsa Datuk Sri Johari Abdul Ghani di semua platform media sosial Buletin TV3 dan saluran Radio Cool 101.
China's top leaders on Friday pledged to step up support for the economy stricken by a high-stakes trade war with the US, as Beijing dismisses President Donald Trump's claims of being engaged in tariff negotiations. Speaking to the media, Chinese Foreign Minister Guo Jiakun reiterated that the two nations were not engaged in formal talks on the trade war triggered by US tariffs earlier this month. He also urged Washington to stop misleading the public on the negotiations and dismissed reports on whether Beijing was planning to exempt tariffs on some US imports. On Thursday, Trump asserted that trade talks between the two countries were underway after both China's Foreign Ministry and Commerce Ministry denied such negotiations. The back-and-forth remarks by Beijing and Washington add further confusion as to when and whether the world's two largest economies would begin talks on high levies on each other's goods. plead guilty to assault. This and more on the local front after this breather.
Kita nak pop, 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 meriah satu kampung pop, pop, pop. Kita kasih Rio sampai besok. Kasih pop, pop, raya pop, pop, pop.
Kalau kita sama-sama, tak ada siapa berani hadap kita.
Aku, Gas.
Haris, suruh aku apa?
Kita nak pop, 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 meriah satu kampung pop, pop, pop. Kita kasih Rio sampai besok. Kasih pop, pop, raya pop, pop, pop.
Ya Allah, Tuhanku, kuatkanlah semangatku, Ya Allah. Aku dah berada dengan ujian ini dan kuatlah semangatku, panjanglah umurku. Dia akan gugur. Ni dah pulang dah, tinggal terus pulang dah ni. Dah ketuk macam tu, macam batu lah. Dia tunggu gugur je. Jatuh ni, tak ada jari lah.
Bila kita sebut tentang hajat, sudah pasti apa sahaja yang kita minta mendatangkan kebaikan kepada diri kita.
Kenapa kita perlu berdoa sekiranya semua sudah tertulis?
Ada takdir-takdir yang telah disebutkan oleh ulama yang boleh merubah atas usaha kita.
Jadi rumusan ringkasnya, kita perlu ada satu denyutan getaran, yakni merasai penguasaan Allah untuk melahirkan ketakwaan yang tinggi kepada Ilahi.
Welcome back. Former Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob returned once again to the Malaysian Anti-Corruption Commission headquarters in Putrajaya on Friday for another round of questioning. This time he provided his statement to the graftbusters for 4 hours on the issue of his asset declaration. The Bura Member of Parliament's convoy arrived at the MACC building compound at 2:50 p.m. and departed around 6:50 p.m. On Thursday, he was questioned for 7 hours on the same issue. Ismail Sabri is currently under investigation for corruption and money laundering related to the expenditure and procurement of funds for the Keluarga Malaysia program during his tenure as Prime Minister from August 2021 to November 2022. 8 individuals, including a 22-year-old woman, pleaded guilty at the Johor Bahru Magistrates Court on Friday to 3 counts of criminal intimidation, group assault, and the wrongful confinement of a man last week. The 8 accused made the plea after the charges were read out to them before Magistrate Atifa Azima Wahab. On the first count, the suspects were jointly charged with threatening to kill 22-year-old Muhammad Faris Shahmi Muhammad Ridwan. Together with 2 others still at large, the 8 accused were also charged with extorting and confining Faris, inducing him to hand over 650 ringgit in cash and the key to his motorcycle to one of his assailants. The 7 male accused, aged between 19 and 25, and another still at large, were also slapped with an additional charge of voluntarily causing hurt to the victim. The offences were committed at an apartment unit in Plentong, Masai, between 10 p.m. on April 18th and 4 a.m. the following day. They face a penalty of up to 10 years imprisonment, a fine, or both if found guilty under the Penal Code. The court fixed bail at 16,000 ringgit for each of the male accused, as well as 14,000 ringgit for the woman, and set June 3rd for sentencing. Previously, several video clips went viral on social media showing a young man appearing weak after being beaten by a group of men in a house in Johor. Over in Johor, a total of 22 individuals, including 3 minors, have been remanded for 2 days on suspicion of being involved in an online part-time job scam syndicate. The remand order was issued on Friday by the Batu Pahat Magistrates Court. The suspects, aged between 16 and 35, including 2 teenage girls, were arrested during a raid at a house on Jalan Sungai Suloh, Batu Pahat, at 12:45 a.m. on Friday. It is believed that the premises was being used by the syndicate as their base of operations, from which they targeted foreign nationals, particularly those from the United States and Canada. Preliminary investigations revealed that the suspects had sent out part-time job offers via Telegram, offering specific packages to those who expressed interest. The victims were required to pay a sum of money before being accepted for the job. Each suspect was paid 3,000 ringgit a month, in addition to rewards for successfully deceiving victims. The case is being investigated under the Penal Code for cheating. Six die as Thai police plane crashes into sea. The details when Nightline returns.
Macam nak tengok video penuh, saksikan video muzik Raya Pop-Pop ditonton. Pop-Pop. Hai Pop.
Kalau kita sama-sama, tak ada siapa berani hadap kita.
Banyak meletup daripada start sampai habis meletup.
Like seriously, it's a mad stuff. It's a Hollywood stuff though.
First sebab pelakon-pelakon dia, second sebab jalan cerita, third sebab gambar dia cantik. Sinematografi dia lawa.
Action scene dari segi look, dari segi acting top notch. 9/10 untuk Blood Brothers.
Dia abang aku, guys. Habis suruh aku apa?
Macam nak tengok video penuh, saksikan video muzik Raya Pop-Pop ditonton. Pop-Pop. Hai Pop.
Confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about being present.
Confidence does not come as perfection. It is being there, being a whole, being authentically you. Sometimes it's okay to move at your own pace, even if it's slow. If you're able to speak more, it actually helps you build confidence because it's not an overnight job.
Only on TV3, stream now on Tonton.
Ada drama baru lah kat Facebook. Nak download lah tu. Ingat jangan download ataupun share laman web Cetak Rompak. Jangan.
We're back with news from the foreign front. More than 60 Palestinians have been killed in airstrikes on Gaza since the early hours of Thursday, with casualties continuing to rise as the Zionist regime intensifies its assault on the enclave. Local media reported that the latest wave of Israeli attacks included a strike on a tent sheltering forcibly displaced civilians in Al-Mawasi, southern Gaza, which the army has routinely targeted, killing a family of 5, including a pregnant mother and 3 children. Meanwhile, the Palestinian civil defense and medical teams said 12 members of the same family were among those killed in Jabalia, northern Gaza. The attacks come after Israel's army chief Eyal Zamir on Thursday threatened to expand their offensive on the enclave. The warning followed fresh evacuation orders by the army for northern areas of Gaza ahead of a planned assault. In another development, the appeals chamber of the International Criminal Court, ICC, on Thursday rejected a request to cancel or suspend arrest warrants issued against Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and former Army Minister Yoav Gallant. According to the Palestinian News and Information Agency, the ICC clarified that while it agreed to reconsider Israel's appeal on the court's jurisdiction over crimes committed in Palestinian territories, the arrest warrants remain valid. The jurisdictional issues centered on whether the ICC can prosecute alleged crimes committed in Gaza and the West Bank will now return to the ICC's pre-trial chamber, which originally issued the warrants on November 21st, 2024. The pre-trial chamber had previously found reasonable grounds to believe both Netanyahu and Gallant were responsible for war crimes and crimes against humanity. The appeals chamber emphasized that the ongoing jurisdictional review does not affect the standing arrest warrants. 6 people were killed after a small police plane crashed near the shore of Hua Hin, a resort town in Thailand's Phetchaburi province, on Friday morning. According to the Thai National Police, the accident occurred at about 8:15 a.m. local time, when the plane was conducting a test flight operation in preparation for a parachute training drill. The aircraft, operated by the Police Aviation Division, then crashed into the sea shortly after taking off, killing 5 on board. One officer who sustained serious injuries was rushed to the hospital, but was later pronounced dead. The cause of the accident is still under investigation. Switching to sports now, squash, the 2025 Grasshopper Cup in Zurich, Switzerland. National ace S. Sivasangari registered an easy win over Hong Kong's world number 34, Lee Ka-yi, in the second round of the tournament on Thursday. World number 11, Sivasangari, needed just 11 minutes to wrap up her match, cruising past Ka-yi 11-6, 11-2 for her 5th victory over the Hong Kong player. Seeded third, Sivasangari now advances to the quarterfinals, where she will face Egypt's world number 15, Nada Abbas, who dispatched English veteran Sarah Jane Perry 11-8, 11-4. The Malaysian has met Nada 3 times and leads their head-to-head 2-1. But in their most recent encounter at last year's Egyptian Open, Nada edged a gripping third-round clash in 5 games. Still on squash, national world number 10, Ng Ain Yao, was stretched to the limit by American world number 60, Shah Jahan Khan, in the second round of the Squash on Fire Open in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. The Asian champion battled for 83 minutes before emerging victorious, winning 11-8, 11-6, 4-11, 6-11, 13-11 over Shah Jahan. The second seed now moves into the quarterfinals, where he will face Egypt's world number 49, Karim El Hamami, who eased past compatriot Yahya El Nawasawani 11-5, 11-7, 11-5. In the women's category, world number 20, Rachel Arnold beat England's Alicia Mead 11-5, 11-6, 11-6 in the second round. The Malaysian will meet Egypt's world number 49, Nadine Shahin, for a place in the semi-finals. For the record, Rachel has lost twice to Nadine in 3 previous meetings. Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's enjoy the artistry of a Chinese boat craftsman, shaping dragon boats in various styles as the Dragon Boat Festival draws near. With that, I'm Lana Hassanel. Thank you for watching and have a great weekend.